This is music from the heartland with songs at the center, celebrating the singer-songwriter, their songs, and their stories. This episode features songwriter, journalist, and Grammy nominee Eric Brace, senior director, producer, and writer at the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum, and Grammy nominee Peter Cooper, and songwriter and producer Thomm Jutz. Funding provided by The Ohio State University, James Cancer Hospital, and Solove Research Institute. No two people are exactly alike, and neither are their cancers. At the James, we believe there is no routine cancer. Learn more at cancer.osu.edu/cancer. Funding also provided by Jobs Ohio.
Ohioans take flight.
That's one small step for man.
When innovation is in your DNA, the possibilities are sky high. Ohio, a place to live, learn, work, innovate, play, and fly.
Here's our show's creator and host, Eric Gnezda.
Welcome to Songs at the Center, where we celebrate the singer-songwriter. We're the series that brings you the songs and the stories. And we're thrilled to be coming to you this time from the Midland Theater in Newark, Ohio, which originally opened in 1928, just 5 days before Christmas, and then reopened after it was restored in 2002. As always, we bring you great songwriters, and this time it's no different. We have three wonderful songwriters from Nashville, Tennessee: Thomm Jutz, Peter Cooper, and Eric Brace. Peter Cooper, you're a journalist, you're a songwriter, you're a producer, you're so many things, and you were named one of the most 10 interesting people in Nashville.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
It was a long, hard-fought campaign. And to be honest, I had to move a few people out of town to slide in on that list. I'm not sure. Somebody named me that who maybe didn't know me very well.
You've worked with a lot of really top-level people, both as a writer, but as also a journalist in your job with the Country Music Hall of Fame. Do you find that the great ones are truly the same person they are on stage as they are off stage?
With songwriters, I find that they often are. With people that are doing the kinds of things we're doing. It takes a smart, empathetic person to write smart, empathetic songs, and you can't fake being Chris Christopherson. There's no way to fake that kind of thing. So, on the other hand, you know, I'll bet Mick Jagger is a little different when he's on stage than when he's off. But a lot of the people who the troubadours, I find they're exactly the way you think they might be. John Prine's bass player, Dave Jakes, is always getting asked, "Well, what's John really like?" And Dave says, "John Prine is exactly like you think he is and hope he would be," and it's just true.
Yeah, as George Burns said, you know, sincerity is everything, and once you can fake that, you've got it made.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But we're all about authenticity on Songs at the Center, and we'd love to hear an authentic song from Peter Cooper.
Johnny Cash, by the way, said humility is the first virtue, and then he said, "And I ain't got a bit of it." Let me do a song. I met a young man today named Parker, who's a baseball fan. And when I was about his age, I used to watch this baseball team that came on TV every night just about during the spring and summer and into the fall that year, because they actually made the playoffs. But they had a double play combination. It was shortstop Rafael Ramirez. He would catch the ball and throw it on over to second baseman Glenn Hubbard, and he would wing it on over to first base to Chris Chambliss. And these double plays were just beautiful. It's like the prettiest stuff I'd ever seen. So that said, this is a song about a girl that I knew in high school. Ramirez to Hubbard to Chambliss, tailor-made double play, like a charm, like a gift, in the top of the fifth, in July on the red Georgia clay. Ramirez to Hubbard to Chambliss, the loveliest hardball ballet. And I still can recall, though I can't see it all, through the eyes that watched them on that day. But I mourn for the loss of the moment, the departure of what once was grand, the precarious nature of beautiful seasons I wish I did not understand. Glen Echo was swirling around us, night air light as could be, disbelief to suspend an accordion when you were walking with me. Glen Echo was swirling around us, summertime jubilee. And I still can recall, though I can't feel it all, through a heart that was beating so free. But I mourn for the loss of the moment, the departure of what once was grand, the precarious nature of beautiful seasons I wish I did not understand. Saw you that night in Northampton, your dark hair flecked with gray, my heart like a wheel that was not yours to steal, though you knew that it always held sway. I saw you that night in Northampton, my mind drifted away. Ramirez to Hubbard to Chambliss, tailor-made double play. But I felt in the weight of the moment, the loss of what should have been grand, the precarious nature of beautiful seasons I wish I did not understand, the precarious nature of beautiful seasons I wish I did not understand.
Thank you, Peter Cooper.
Spending years as a journalist helped me a whole lot in my songcraft, and that has to do with understanding how to get something done in a sitting when necessary. But it also, I was a music journalist, so I can't be any less of a songwriter for having spent dozens of hours around Chris Christopherson and Tom T. Hall and Johnny Cash and people like that, talking about songwriting and songs and music making. So it's something that I draw from those lessons that I learned every day when I'm making music.
From the Midland Theater in Newark, Ohio, we bring you songs, singers, and their stories.
Eric Brace, I think every creative person I've ever met in my life says they can write a children's book until they try to do it. And, as songwriters, it seems, an easy thing to do would be write a children's song. It's simple, we've all been kids, so on and so forth, but it's not so easy, is it?
We made an album about 9 years ago, Peter Cooper and I, of children's songs, but they were not ours. They were Tom T. Hall's songs. And he is just the master at conveying information. And you were talking about the simplicity of songwriters. And it's not simplistic. There's a difference. There's layers of all that stuff. What's funny is that there is a guy who lives in Kansas City, Missouri, named Eric Brace, who writes children's books and children's songs. And so I get a lot of emails from people like, I love that last book of yours, you know, the Crazies and those songs.
How do you respond to that?
I thank them and ask them, please send me more money. And But, you know, we try to keep it simple. When I was in a band called Last Train Home up in Washington, D.C., we used to play weekend shows at a club, but then we'd also do a children's matinee so that people could bring all their kids and everything. And you just remember, you don't need to write down to children. And so even our songs about, you know, heartache and alcohol and drinking, it's, you know, kids can understand some of that. But we try to keep things listenable to all ages. This is one that I wrote when I would drive back and forth from Washington to Nashville a lot. And as you leave Washington, you head out on Route, well, it's not Route 66, it's I-66. And you head toward the hills, you go through Front Royal, and you head up into the Appalachian Mountains. And there's a road there that I would stop. I didn't realize that was the name of it, but it's called Dismal Hollow Road. I used to stop just to go to the Apple House and get their great apple donuts. And then I looked up one day and I realized it's sitting on Dismal Hollow Road. And I was thinking, wow, that's got to be really dismal if it's actually called that. So I thought, well, sometimes geography is destiny. And I wrote a song about a fellow who might be living on Dismal Hollow Road. Hey ho, rain and snow, dark down in the hollow. Play for you with a fiddle and bow. I'll be gone tomorrow. Hey, hey, cloudy day, no sun in the valley. Ever since she went away, well, I sure miss my Sally. A little while, not long ago, we went to the city. She found it a lovely place. I saw nothing pretty. She stayed, I went. Now I do regret it. In my mind, I see her smile. I never will forget it. Oh, oh, hey, oh, rain and snow, dark down in the hollow. Play for you with a fiddle and bow, and I'll be gone tomorrow. She wrote a letter short and sweet, saying all was well, and I wrote one back telling her that my life was hell. I begged her to return, I swallowed all my pride, but I never heard another word. I guess she did decide. Hey, hey, cloudy day, no sun in the valley. Ever since she went away, well, I sure miss my Sally. Her letter's in my pocket and my bags are at my door. I'll play one more fiddle tune, then I won't play no more. You'll find me at the station waiting on a northbound train. I'll find the girl who stole my heart, be with her again. Yeah, I'll find the girl who stole my heart, be with her again. Oh, oh, hey, oh, rain and snow, dark down in the hollow. Play for you with a fiddle and bow, and I'll be gone tomorrow. Hey, hey, cloudy day, no sun in the valley. Ever since she went away, well, I sure miss my Sally. Oh, ever since she went away. Oh, I sure miss my Sally. I should say that I had a job writing for the Washington Post, and so what I found when I was writing for the paper was that songs came more quickly than when I stopped. I thought when I left the Post in 2004, I thought, oh, I will have all this time to write songs now, and that's all I'm going to do. But in fact, I write much fewer since I'm not on deadline writing sentences all the time about music.
This episode of Songs at the Center comes to you from the beautifully restored 1928 Midland Theater in Newark, Ohio.
Thomm Jutz from Nashville, originally from the Black Forest region of Germany. Thanks for joining us on Songs at the Center.
I'm so happy to be here, man.
So as a songwriter and musician yourself, how do you then approach producing?
You know, it's different. It's different with everybody. But the main thing that I've learned from my producer heroes, people like Jim Rooney, is to just put people in a room that get along well together, people that you know can do the job. Be really well prepared, write great charts, know the song, know your artist, know what they're really good at, know what they might not be so good at, know where they need a little bit of help, and just create a good atmosphere. And don't tell people what to play. Don't tell people what not to play. Just create an atmosphere where everybody's a part of creating something, and you will find that people will give you their best work because they're part of a creative process, and they're not just being hired to do something that you already think exists in your head. Plus, I think as a producer, the most boring thing would be to tell people what to play, because that would always be something that's already in my head, but I'd rather hear what's in their head than what's in mine.
Well, have you brought a song for us?
I have. This is a song, actually, that Peter and I wrote with a great friend of ours, a gentleman called Wiseman, who passed away just about 3 months ago at the age of 93. He was one of the founding fathers of bluegrass music. He played with Flatt and Scruggs in the first incarnation of the Foggy Mountain Boys in 1947 and 1948, and then went on to play and sing with Bill Monroe. And then after he did that for a little while, he went on to have an incredible career of his own. He had one of the longest recording careers in American musical history. I think only Tony Bennett comes close. And Peter and I got to know him pretty well over the making of a record called Songs for My Mother's Hand, and that we produced for Mac. And he would tell us all these stories about growing up in rural southwestern Virginia during the Great Depression. And we kept notes and kept those stories in our minds, and we became good friends with him. He couldn't get around well. He was kind of not wheelchair bound, but almost. He was a very heavy man and couldn't move well, and so we'd go over to his house and visit a little bit with him pretty much every week. And then one day we approached him and said, "Mac, how would you feel if we turned these stories that you told us into songs?" And he said, "Ooh, boys, that'd be wonderful." So we went back every Sunday afternoon for about 10 or 11 weeks and wrote these songs with him. He sat in his big chair and would retell these stories, and we just keep notes and rhyme and write melodies to him. And then, because it would have been difficult to get him into a recording studio, we said, "Mac, how about we turn this into a tribute record to you, and we ask people that you influenced so profoundly in the bluegrass and country music field to sing these songs?" And he said, "Ooh, boys, that'd be wonderful." So we called some people that we know were big fans of Mac's, people like Alison Krauss and John Prine and the Isaacs and Sean Kemp and Jim Lauderdale and Junior Sisk and a bunch of others, and nobody turned us down. Everybody showed up and sang these songs to pay homage to the great Mag Wiseman. And we learned so much from him, so much about, man, the beginning of when that started. Imagine it was 1947 when Mac grew up. When he was a child, Jimmy Rogers was still on the radio. That was live radio, people playing music on the radio. He remembered that vividly. He had books where his mom would write down the lyrics to songs so he could learn them. This song is called "I Sang the Song." John Prine sings it on this record. It's also the title song of this record, and every line in the song is something that Mac said. We didn't add anything. We just shuffled the lines around so they made sense and flowed symmetrically and rhymed and all of this. So this is the story of a kid from Crymora, Virginia, finding his way into the big world of music and traveling all over the world and becoming wealthy. And this is him looking back with profound gratitude on this life. It's called I Sang the Song. I could hear the highway calling long before the road ran through. Dreams are free, but not much else is. And what else can a poor boy do? Cali, France, the cliffs of Dover. Name a city, I've been there. Women laugh and babies crying. Sounds the same most anywhere. Baptized in the old South River. 3 times forward I've been blessed. Just another young hillbilly. Who would have thought? Who could have guessed? Gordon Lightfoot, A.P. Carter, Mother Mabel, June and John. It ain't bragging if you've done it. Name the tune, I sang the song. And now I'm old, nowhere to hide it. I wouldn't care to truth be told. Once a man, twice a child, but I've got a hand to hold. I could hear the highway calling long before the road ran through. Dreams are free and not much else is. But what else can a poor boy do? Dreams are free and not much else is. What else can a poor boy do?
Thomm Jutz, thank you.
I teach songwriting at Belmont University in Nashville, so I'm around a lot of young songwriters, and they approach this completely differently. They don't have these filters that I have. Most of them have never heard of Merle Haggard or Tom T. Hall, and I make it a point to play that stuff for them and explain to them how cool it is. And they get that, but they only get that when I'm open enough to understand what's cool to them about the music that they're listening to.
Thank you, Thomm Jutz, Peter Cooper, Eric Brace, and thank you for joining us. I'm Eric Gnezda. We were thrilled to be coming to you from the Midland Theater in Newark, Ohio. We hope that you will continue to tune in to public television stations all across America, where you'll always find Songs at the Center. We'll see you next time.
Funding for Songs at the Center provided by Jobs Ohio.
Ohioans take flight.
That's one small step for man.
When innovation is in your DNA, the possibilities are sky high. Ohio, a place to live, learn, work, innovate, play, and fly.
Additional funding provided by The Ohio State University, James Cancer Hospital, and Solove Research Institute. No two people are exactly alike, and neither are their cancers. At the James, we believe there is no routine cancer. Learn more at cancer.osu.edu/cancer. Learn more about Songs at the Center at songsatthecenter.tv.